From the spotlight to the world behind the show, these are the stories of those who make it happen. Welcome to Backstage and Beyond.
I've been doing production runner full-time in Los Angeles for 20, going on the road occasionally, once every few years. But there's enough work in Los Angeles to do production runner full-time. And what I've done as I've advanced is try to get in with rehearsals. So when an act is rehearsing for a tour, production rehearsals or band rehearsal, I hook up with the production manager, production coordinator, and run for them 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time or longer. I think my longest was with Adele for, 3 months on and off.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, that's just a lot more stable than doing the gig work. One show here, another show there, all at different arenas or venues. And that's very taxing on the body. And then I do Coachella every year, which I've done for almost 20 years. And when I'm there for 5, 6 weeks and manage the runners there.
So tell everybody exactly what that entails.
So at Coachella, for instance, that entails looking after a staff of, 12, 15, 18 people. And we are responsible for getting the stagehands around the site. And it's a huge site. It's at the Empire Polo Fields in Indio. And it's a lot of ground to cover. So those stagehands, by California law, with all the employment laws, they have to get from point A to point B to point C on time, meal breaks, clocking in, and that entails almost like a military operation, a fleet of vans and runners who know the whole site, backward and forward, making sure that the stagehands get to their meal breaks on time, back to where they were working after the break, and then, to the hotel at night to return them for the day. And also among that, just doing regular runs into town to buy things at, for instance, the hardware store, or pick up some supplies, laundry, food, you name it. It all comes up.
What do you think is the most misunderstood thing about your job?
Misunderstanding. It's a good question. I think if I had to say, I don't really have an answer, but I think sometimes people in the production office or in any office, it could be the local, it could be the touring, they don't sometimes, I think, really get what the runner's going through. We're dealing with traffic, we're dealing with heat, we're dealing with cold, we're out among people fighting, at least in Los Angeles, to get the job done. And that's a whole nother ball of wax. It's not like in LA, stuff is just right around the corner. We're having to battle the traffic and, deal with people who are sometimes unpleasant. So the days are very long. So I don't know if that's a
How'd you first
good answer. I worked for Sharon Osbourne for 7 years. And then after that, I worked at Showtime TV, and that lasted about 1.5 years, working in special events, in the special events department. And then I didn't like working in corporate, so I just asked a friend of mine who was working local, hey, can you get me on some of these runner jobs? I know exactly what it entails because I dealt with runners before on Ozfest, things like that. And she did. I got right in. They were looking for people, and like my second show was doing a huge Eagles run on their 2005 tour. And right after that, I was slotted in with all the big stuff and haven't really looked back.
And so what helps you keep going at this age? Sorry.
No, it's true. I mean, running is an endurance test. You're there at the beginning, the first person in with the production crew, usually. I like to work for the production office. I don't like to work catering or wardrobe. I like to work for the production. So you're there first thing. And a lot of times you're there till the very end. And what keeps me going is I don't really consider it. I mean, it's a job, but it's a great job for me. It's perfect. I like kind of being the lone wolf in a van, driving around town. I know where everything is. I like to think I know where everything is. So I think I'm good at my job. and I enjoy being around road people more so than the artists. And I'm just happy to be kind of an extension of what they are doing.
So what would you say are the top 3 things that you love about your job?
I just love hanging out with my runner friends. I like hanging around all the roadies that I see on a repeat basis throughout the years. And yeah, I like being around a show, a concert, the gig. It's just kind of at this point in my DNA. I don't know.
What about the top 3 things that are the most challenging?
Top 3 things that are most challenging. It can be, I think, dealing with, how do I put this? Sometimes the hardest people to deal with are the people who are new, not the people who have been around a long time. And the people who have been around a long time tend to be sometimes cranky, but they also, you can kind of gauge where they're coming from. And a lot of the newer people don't know the job as much, and so they overcompensate. And sometimes I have to kind of, I don't know, throw my weight around or give my opinions in a more forceful manner than I would like in order to get the job done the easiest way.
Now,
to get my job done the easiest way, you know.
Do you think that there are enough veterans in the industry around to help these people that are new? Because, I mean, how do you see the industry changing now that the new guard, so to speak, is coming in?
And there's a lot of great new people, don't get me wrong. Absolutely. There's fantastic people who are younger that I learn from all the time. But in Los Angeles, there's definitely great veteran runners. You know, I'm just one of many, a worker among workers, but yeah, sometimes you have to train the new people as the local staff. It's just the way it is, because all it takes for a person to get on tour is for somebody to pluck them from obscurity and drop them in a production office. We all know it. We all see it. The runners see it every day, every month. And good luck to them. And we try to make them shine. I mean, I do. I don't try to sabotage anybody. But sometimes I have to get my job done the best way I know how, which sometimes is, you know.
Now, would you say that your job would be something that anyone in midlife could pivot into? Or is it something that you kind of need to start from?
No, I have strong opinions about this. Anybody can be a runner. Now we're stopped. Anybody can be a runner, no question about it, but not everybody can be a runner. That's kind of what I tell people. And it's just because it takes, you have to have the endurance, or the stamina rather, and you have to really like what the job entails, which is taking instruction from other people and then doing it. You have to have common sense. You have to know how to deal with people, especially security people. There's a level of patience and deference to others, because you are a service worker ultimately. Anybody can do it, but unless you really have a passion for it or an interest in it, I just think you're another, you know, you're just another cog in the machine.
Makes sense. So, all right, Eddie, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's great insight. A lot of people don't realize what it entails to be a runner.
Do what?
Don't get in a wreck.
That brings me up. Actually, it's really funny. These vans, you know, have roofs. The tall Ford Transit vans have roofs, and there has been kind of an epidemic, at least in Los Angeles, of people scraping the roofs, and that's a fireable offense. So if you're going to be able to be a runner, you have to know how to drive a van, going back to your question, which I think sometimes I take for granted when I'm kind of training a new runner or around a new runner and trying to help them. It's like, you kind of can see real quick, can they drive a van? And most of them can. But yes, don't scrape the top of the van. Always look here. It'll tell you 10 feet or 7 feet or 8 feet. But yeah, don't scrape the top of the van.
All right. Thanks a lot, Eddie.